It's something you use every day, on your jacket, your jeans, your backpack. Yet you've probably never stopped to think about how it got there. The zipper is so ordinary that it's invisible, quietly holding our modern lives together. But behind this tiny mechanism lies one of the most stubborn stories of invention, a story of failure, obsession, and the relentless human drive to make life just a little easier. The zipper's journey begins long before it zipped up your favorite hoodie. In the late 19th century, the world was experiencing an industrial boom. New machines, new fabrics, and new ways of living demanded faster, simpler ways to fasten things. Buttons were everywhere, but they were slow. Shoelaces came undone. Corsets took forever to tie. The world needed something better, something effortless. That idea first appeared in 1891, when a man named Whitcomb Judson, a Chicago inventor, filed a patent for what he called the clasp locker. Judson wasn't thinking about fashion. He was thinking about shoes. His device was meant to replace shoelaces, a small hook and eye mechanism that could close boots with a simple pull. It was clever but clunky. The design jammed often and broke easily. Yet Judson was convinced he was onto something. He showcased his invention at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, proudly displaying what he believed would revolutionize clothing. But instead of applause, he got puzzled stares. The clasp locker didn't catch on. People admired the idea but couldn't trust it to work. Manufacturers ignored it, and the world moved on. But Judson's idea refused to die. 2 decades later, another man picked up where Judson left off. Gideon Sundback, a Swedish-born electrical engineer working for the Universal Fastener Company. Sundback wasn't trying to improve fashion either. He was trying to improve engineering. When he joined the company in 1906, he examined Judson's flawed design and saw its potential, but also its weaknesses. The interlocking hooks were too fragile, the alignment imperfect. So, Sundback started from scratch. He spent years perfecting the details, designing, testing, failing, and starting again. By 1913, after countless prototypes, he finally created something that worked. He called it the separable fastener. It looked simple, 2 rows of tiny metal teeth that interlocked smoothly with the pull of a slider. But behind that simplicity was precision engineering. Each tooth needed to fit perfectly with its opposite partner, over and over, without fail. Sundback's invention wasn't just an upgrade, it was a reinvention. His 1917 patent laid the foundation for the modern zipper we use today, and it worked so reliably that industries began to take notice. Yet adoption didn't happen overnight. In fact, the zipper's biggest challenge wasn't its mechanics, it was perception. People didn't see the need. Buttons were good enough, and fashion designers dismissed it as too industrial. That began to change in the 1920s when the B.F. Goodrich Company, known for making rubber boots, decided to try Sundback's fastener on a new line of galoshes. When the marketing team saw how easily the boots could be closed with a single pull, they knew they had something special. They needed a catchy name, something that captured the sound and action of this new fastener. So they called it the zipper. That word stuck. The boots became a hit, and suddenly, zipper wasn't just a sound, it was a symbol of modern convenience. Slowly, the idea spread beyond boots to clothing, luggage, and military gear. By the 1930s, zippers were revolutionizing fashion. Children's clothing adopted them first, marketed as a way to help kids dress themselves. Then came the leap into men's trousers, a bold shift from traditional buttons. When French designers began using zippers in women's dresses, the transformation was complete. What had once been an industrial mechanism became a symbol of sleek, modern design. World War II accelerated everything. Soldiers needed durable, fast-closing uniforms and gear, and zippers delivered. Sundback's design became a quiet hero of wartime efficiency. After the war, as industries globalized, the zipper became standard worldwide, a tiny emblem of the 20th century's pursuit of speed and practicality. But the zipper's story didn't stop there. As fashion evolved, so did its materials, from metal to nylon, from utilitarian to decorative. The invention even inspired competitors and spin-offs. Velcro in the 1940s, magnetic closures, and even smart zippers today that integrate sensors and microtech. Yet through all this innovation, Sundback's basic design remains virtually unchanged. It's a rare case where an invention reached near perfection early on and has endured for over a century. The zipper's impact reaches beyond fashion. It symbolizes something deeper, the triumph of persistence. Judson's idea failed. Sundback's obsession succeeded. But both men were driven by the same vision: to make life smoother, simpler, and faster. It's also a reminder that not every great invention arrives with fanfare. Some begin in obscurity, stumble through rejection, and only later find their place in the world. The zipper's success wasn't about luck. It was about refinement, the kind of quiet, relentless problem-solving that defines human progress. Today, there are billions of zippers in use, on spacesuits, tents, medical gear, and designer bags. They're part of the invisible infrastructure of daily life, something we take for granted until it breaks. Yet every zip, every smooth closure, is a silent tribute to over half a century of trial, error, and engineering brilliance. And perhaps that's the most powerful lesson of all. The zipper teaches us that innovation isn't always about big leaps. Sometimes it's about small, perfect motions, about making complexity disappear into simplicity. It's the art of refinement, the quiet kind that changes everything, one pull at a time. In a world obsessed with breakthroughs, the zipper reminds us that true innovation often hides in plain sight, holding the fabric of our lives together.